Hi, everyone. So, this is my first ad for my podcast, which is kind of exciting. This is an ad for my upcoming adult beginner jazz class that I'm going to be teaching on Fridays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at Heart Dance Space, also known as MKM Cultural Arts Center. It's at 11401 Chandler Boulevard in North Hollywood. I'm teaching it on Fridays, 7 to 8:30 p.m., starting June 7th, adult beginner jazz. Please come if you are new to dance, if you are new to jazz, or if you've been dancing for a while but you just want to get back to the basics or want a class where you don't have to stress your brain as much. Please come to my class. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a warm-up and a stretch. We're going to do a little bit of basic technique together, and then we're going to mostly get into a combo, which will be a fun song. We'll take a lot of time with it. We'll answer questions. We're going to make sure everyone leaves feeling super encouraged and like they got stronger in dance. So please come. It's going to be a great class. It's $17 starting June 7th, Fridays, 7 to 8:30 p.m. So it's an hour and a half. $17 directly to me. You can Venmo me at Tracy and LA, TracyInLA, or find me on Instagram at Tracy and LA and DM me to find out about any other payment method. You can pretty much pay me by any method: Zelle, Apple Pay, PayPal, Cash App, check, cash. Maybe not like Bitcoin, no discrimination, but I just don't know anything about cryptocurrency. Besides that, we should be good, and hopefully I'll see you there.
Dance Journey!
With Tracy in LA. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, Dance Journey. Today we have a very special guest again, Haley Royal. Haley and I are very good friends, and I'm going to tell you about that. We're both going to tell you about that in a minute. But we just took Chasen Greenwood's intermediate/advanced ballet class at Westside School of Ballet. And what did we think about it?
I thought it was really fun tonight. He did some new stuff, like hard stuff,
Yeah.
but also fun. Like the single pirouette, landing an attitude, immediately doing a promenade the opposite direction, and then extending to arabesque and then close.
Yes. You know what? He did that. He did a version of that on Saturday or something. So that was the first time I did that one.
Okay.
And last time he did it in class, he was like, you guys should practice this at home so that it's easier here. He's like, he goes, it will still be harder here, but you should practice at home. It will still be hard here, but you should practice at home. So I did practice it like one time at home.
That's what he meant. Just once and that's it.
I don't think it showed. And the center work, there was a center combo, the last center combo, I didn't know.
That was fun too. We got to do 2 different turns.
Yeah. I didn't really know what was going on for it. So
we did like that was fun. Tonight was fun. He did some different things.
Yeah. Haley likes when the teachers do new stuff. And I do too, to a degree, but also I just did not know what was going on in that last one. And we all did the left side once, and then everyone did the right side once, except I was in the last group, and it seemed like everybody was done except me and maybe one other girl. So I wasn't sure if we were going, and so I just stood there, and then Chasen was like, is there another group? And I was like,
no.
I really needed to go with someone who really knew it because I did not know it at all. So I did not even do the right side, but that's okay. We'll work on that next time. But something that was funny that I guess Haley didn't notice was that I don't always, but most of the time I take little videos in ballet, and I just set up my camera on my water bottle. I slant it on my water bottle and take little videos of class for social media. And Chasen, I think he might notice that I do that, but tonight I had set up my camera near me, but then he went to demonstrate at my bar, and he was like...
At your bar?
At my bar. Well, it was the bar that I was standing at. And he was like, oh, there's a camera. Oh. He's like, okay. And then he positioned himself different, and then he was like, well, make sure you send it to me. I was like, so glad I didn't get yelled at, but I don't think he ever would, because I think that Chasen loves the camera. So... Anyway, that was my funny moment of the night. He also corrected me a lot, and I was not 100% here tonight because I was thinking about other things. I had a really long day, and I was like, oh no. It was just a smaller class, and he was just noticing everything, and I was like, oh no.
Okay, did you see at bar when I almost kicked him?
No? You almost kicked him?
Yes, multiple times actually.
How?
But when we were doing the Grand Rond de Jambe kick, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Like he kept like walking so close to our bars. Maybe our bars were just closer tonight. But I almost kicked him. And so he's like, ooh. And then he like got out of the way. And then he watched me do the other two. And I was like, well, like I can't kick very high, but it's fine. But the first time I did it, I almost kicked him. So I just did like a little 45-degree one. But he didn't even notice.
That's funny. He's hindering you from kicking to your best ability. But so Haley is tall and beautiful. And
Thanks, Tracy. I think you're beautiful too.
Thank you. I'm short and beautiful. What did Chasen say about tall people that one time? Do you remember what he said?
Oh, that we have to take smaller steps in order to move faster.
But what was that one time when he was like,
that like he named a choreographer who said that he liked tall dancers.
Yeah, he made this like, I felt like he made like a big speech about tall dancers and how it, like a really positive thing and how somebody used to like tall dancers. I don't remember. This is not a good story.
I felt appreciated and embarrassed.
Yeah. As we do whenever Chasen points us out about anything. So Haley, how do we know each other?
So we met online.
Sort of.
So we used to be roommates.
Yeah.
And we found each other through this like forum message board from a church.
Yeah. I was looking for a place, and Haley and our friend Tess, who I also interviewed on here, they were both looking. Wait, why were you guys both looking for a place? Did you guys know each other? I can't remember.
No, I think I found her on that website too.
I thought that they were like already friends because they had already met, and then they went to meet with me, and I remember we all met at Starbucks to talk, and we were there for a long time. And I don't know if I told you this, but I really enjoyed you guys. I thought you had super fun like energy, but I also felt like, oh my gosh, they're so young and they're really hyper, and I don't think I'm gonna live with them. I was like, I liked you. I enjoyed my time at Starbucks with you guys, but I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna like actually live with these girls though. And then I don't remember why. I don't remember what we talked about, but I just felt like you guys were like a little too crazy for me. It was probably more Tess that felt like a little too crazy for me. And then but then at the end of the conversation, we didn't even really talk about the place. We were just talking about like ourselves and stuff. And then I was like, well, where like is the place? Because Tess had found a place already, and we were trying to get enough people to live there to be able to afford it. And then when she said where the place was, I was like, oh, that's like my favorite intersection in LA.
Because there also was a Starbucks.
I used to really like Starbucks, but there was a Starbucks and a Whole Foods, and like I like loved that little area and that street. And so when they said that was where the place was, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go see it. And then I did see the place, and I really liked it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do this. And then we had to find another roommate. We had a lot of people living in that place.
Yeah.
But it was really fun, and we ended up living together for 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And during that time, Haley danced a lot. Mm-hmm. How much were you dancing during that time?
I don't know.
Like every day almost?
No, I mean, I've never done 7 days a week like you, but...
Well, I do 6 usually.
Oh, okay, only 6. I mean, maybe 4, 5 days a week at the very max.
Okay.
I don't know.
I felt like she was often coming home late from work because she also went to dance class after work, which I used to think was like so crazy. And I didn't dance much during that time, but we did take a tap class together. Mm-hmm. But had you never tried tap before that?
I did tap in 7th grade for 1 year, and that was it.
Okay. Well, a whole year is pretty good.
I remembered the Shirley Temple and nothing else.
That's good, though. I can't even remember the Shirley Temple right now. But yeah, so Haley kind of wanted to take tap, and I was like, I know of a tap class. I think I sort of talked about this on the podcast before. But yeah, so she came with me. We went to Johnny Hobbs tap class at Edge, and we both liked it. Haley liked it enough to keep waking up on Saturday mornings for it, and I did not
Yes.
like it that much. I wanted to sleep on Saturday.
And then because I was in my early 20s and not a considerate roommate, I then went to Home Depot and got a wooden board and would practice in my room, but would have to like blast the music so I could hear it over the sounds of my tap shoes. So I was banging my shoes on the wood and then blasting the music.
I don't even...
And I just didn't think it bothered anyone, but it was so loud.
I don't remember ever being bothered by it, though.
That's great.
Did we ever have any neighbors complain?
Well, my room was above the entryway. Like we were on the second floor,
okay.
but there wasn't anyone living below us.
Okay.
But no, I think one of y'all said that y'all were walking into the apartment complex, and because our window was above the front doors, they could hear me tapping from the street.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, I used to do like an exercise video early in the morning in the living room almost every day, and I was jumping around, and we were on top of somebody, and they never complained. So somehow we got away with everything that we wanted to do.
I wonder if our whole place was on top. I don't know. Back then, like, I should have, like, asked y'all if I could make a lot of noise, but it never occurred to me to be that considerate.
People are different in their 20s. I shouldn't say that. If you're in your 20s, don't be offended. But I do feel like I did things... Like, when I was in my early 20s, I feel like I would just eat my roommate's stuff. Now I'm like, I would never dream of doing that unless I, like, asked them because I, like, really needed an egg or something. But, like, I would just, like, go in the pantry and be like, I just want Kira's trail mix right now. Like, I would just eat it. I'm like, wow, like, what?
I'll also say, as I grow older, I get cleaner. And so, like, when I look back at myself a year ago, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so disgusting. I can't believe it. But then a year from now, I'll look at myself now and think I was disgusting.
I love that you're getting cleaner.
Thanks.
I just love cleanliness. So I think I've always been clean, even in my 20s. But I do think I bothered my roommates who were also in their 20s who didn't care as much as me. Well, one way I was different in my 20s. Actually, this wasn't 20s. This was like in college. I would like clean up my roommate's stuff for them. They did not like that. But I've been doing that since I was a little kid. I used to go to my friends' houses when I was like 7, and they'd be like wanting to play, and I would be like organizing the top of their dresser because there'd be too much stuff everywhere. So I would just start organizing.
That's really cute.
So I just have a problem. But yeah, now I would never like touch my roommate's stuff and try to like clean up their side of the room, or like I would never do that. But I was like, why is she mad at me for that? I was helping her. So you just learn things as you get older. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you got really into tap after that. I feel like you started taking tap like multiple places.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I started taking that 2 different studios, like twice per week. I just thought it was so much fun. Loved it.
You took it at Edge and then you took it somewhere else?
Yeah, it was a studio in Westchester.
Okay, I remember it vaguely.
I don't remember what it was called.
Because I ended up babysitting some kids that also took class there. And I remember I ended up seeing Haley in class because I was like picking them up from dance or something. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
I've been to that studio because, yeah, I'm pretty sure I told you. I think we knew that I was going to see you, but they took like another, I don't think they took the same class as you. But there were kids in it, weren't there?
I took the adult class, but then I did the kids recital.
Oh, okay. Yes, and I think I saw you in that.
Yes.
Which I thought was so cool. Haley just like went for it. And then did you end up getting paid to do some sort of tap dance thing, or am I making that up?
I got paid to do a nonprofit event.
Okay.
Which, like, I don't know why I was paid if it was for nonprofit.
Well, nonprofits do make money. It's just not.
But that actually was directed by Tor of Tor's Broadway with Tor.
Oh. And so he like told you about it because you took his class?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And it was a tap dancing thing?
No, it wasn't tap.
Oh, okay. I thought that you did a tap dancing thing.
No.
Okay.
I've only been paid to do like, it was like hip hop or like, I don't even know what genre it was. But that's it. I got paid $50, and that is
Nice.
the end of my professional dancing career.
That's pretty good. Okay, so we are gonna go back to Haley's origin of dance. But right now, first, what does your dance life look like right now?
Okay, so right now I'm in a ballet mood. So I'm taking ballet once or twice a week. And then I'm also salsa dancing once or twice a week.
Okay. I feel like you do more than that, but I guess, okay, 4 days. That's a lot.
I mean, that's the max on a good week.
Okay.
Maybe like 3 on average.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yesterday, Haley did come to Zach Pinto's jazz class at C-Spot, so she switches it up sometimes. Also because her salsa studio changes the schedule all the time. So sometimes she'll be like, this month, my salsa class is on this day, so now I can go to this thing. And I'm like, that's confusing.
Yeah, but they kept the schedule for May the same as April, so I was able to make it to jazz.
Okay, nice. That was fun. Haley did great. And okay, so Haley and I know each other really well. We like to leave each other very long voice notes that are pretty funny. We like to discuss our dance schedules. I don't know how that dance schedule conversation right now was only like 30 seconds because sometimes we talk about our schedules and it's like 3 hours later and we're still talking about our dance schedules. Like, how are we still talking about? Like, one night we were hanging out, you're like, can I talk to you about my dance schedule? And I swear it was like 3 hours later.
No, it really was.
We were still talking about your dance schedule. I mean, I'm sure like different things she said reminded me of a story and then I told that and then, but the theme was like the dance schedule.
Yeah, I took classes for like a whole week, so I didn't have work that week. And then I told you about every single class.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Haley did like Haley's dance camp for a
Yes.
week because she didn't have work, which is totally something I would do. Well, I've been doing Tracy's dance camp for about 8 months now. But yeah, so we love to talk about dance, and now we're just doing it on camera. But I actually I feel like Haley may have told me how she first started in dance and her life story about it, but I don't remember it. So then we're all going to learn it. So Haley, what's your first memory of dance? And you're from Texas.
I'm from Texas.
Dallas? Wait, I can't remember.
Dallas, yeah. So I grew up dancing there. My first memory is when I was 4 years old and I did a combo ballet and tap class. Okay, fine. I guess I tapped when I was 4 and 5.
Okay.
But I don't think that counts.
It counts a tiny bit.
Okay, well, I totally forgot about it.
Okay.
And so like we had those costumes where you have like a leotard and then you like pull on the tutu and then you pull it off and put on your little fringe tap skirt.
Okay.
And our tap dance was to You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy
Cute.
Story. So you like paired up with little partners and danced with our partners on stage. But mine got sick the day of the recital. So I danced alone to You've Got a Friend in Me.
Oh, Haley. And is that where there was some trauma now?
I don't know. I guess I was really quiet, so it was fine. But I kept dancing, and then I mostly just did ballet because I went to a studio that was focused on ballet. We didn't do competitions, so we didn't really do a lot of hip hop, jazz, tap, and all of that. They did make us do jazz once a week, modern once a week, but I hated anything that wasn't ballet, so I did not love those. And mostly I just did ballet like 6 days a week by the time I was in high school.
Wow. And did you have 2 sisters?
I have 2 younger sisters.
Did they do any ballet or anything?
Both of them danced. My middle sister ended up quitting the ballet company to do drill team in high school.
Okay.
And then the youngest one only danced a few years, then got into horseback riding.
Okay. But you stuck with it.
I stuck with it.
And you did ballet pretty much all the time until when? Did you do it all the way through high school?
Yeah, I did it all the way through high school, and then I basically didn't dance at all for the 4 years in college.
Okay.
But my senior year, I thought like, okay, this is the year I'm going to get back into ballet. So I bought a 20 class pass in August, and I was like, all right, I'm going to use it up through May, which is when I graduate and move out of Austin. And so the whole school year passes. It's like your busiest year because you're a senior. You're doing all your senior year projects. So obviously I didn't take any classes. And so I had 2 weeks before I graduated in May where I had like a couple exams, but like most of them were projects I had already finished. So in those 2 weeks, I think I took like 13 classes because I wanted to use up my pass. But it was so much fun because I was taking all of these styles I never tried before. Like I tried Broadway jazz and jazz funk. I even tried hip hop. I did ballet too.
When you first got it, were you mostly planning to do ballet, but then you had to fit it all in, so you just took all bunch
so I
of
just did
stuff?
everything. But it was so much fun because I think growing up, I only liked ballet because I only felt comfortable doing that. I didn't really feel comfortable like expressing myself in other ways. But I guess by then, senior year of college, I was more comfortable with myself. So I had a lot of fun trying out all those classes. So then like a month or 2 months later, I moved to LA and I had already looked up studios and classes I wanted to try. So I was really excited to start my adult dance journey in LA.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know about that. So wait, where did you go to college?
I went to UT Austin.
Okay. And what was your major?
It was apparel design.
Okay. And so did you want to move to LA and look for jobs here, or did you just happen to get a job in LA?
I happened to get an internship.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you try to get internships anywhere? And yeah, it just happened to be in LA.
Well, I applied everywhere because I needed one to graduate.
Yeah, okay.
And I was desperate and just needed something. And I did apply for ones in LA because, again, like I really didn't know anything about LA, but I knew it was warmer than New York in the wintertime. And Texas gets so cold, so I couldn't even imagine New York.
Yeah. And fashion, the big cities would be LA and New York.
Right.
Okay.
So I got one in LA, so I moved out here June 2014. And then they ended up hiring me on. And then that's when I started looking for an apartment with you.
Because where were you living before that?
I was living in Westwood in some UCLA girls' apartment.
Okay. Just like a temporary type of situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. It's so cool that, like, first of all, I'm like, how did you have a 20 class pass and you never used for the whole year and you never used any of it?
Yeah, because
That's
like
crazy.
senior year, like I had to make a wedding dress. I made like another gown.
Wow.
Like we had to sew all of our senior projects. We had like a fashion show at the end of the year, but we had to make everything ourselves. So we would be in the sewing lab pulling all-nighters all the time.
That's crazy. My junior year was really stressful in college. In my senior year, I barely had anything left. So I took a little bit of dance that isn't even my thing, but I did that my senior year. And I only was at college for my senior year for one semester because I got everything done quickly.
Nice.
So it was actually like a really nice year, but I'm sorry that yours was so stressful. What was your favorite thing that you designed your senior year?
I guess the wedding dress.
The wedding dress?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything like cool about it that you remember?
It was really ugly. All my designs back then were really ugly. But, it was like cute for me back then, But it was white with like hints of baby blue. Like I got this vintage lace and like dyed it blue. And it was inspired by like bustiers, so it had like corsetry lines and everything. Then like this little ruffly lace train.
That's cool. Very cool. I remember when Haley and I were living together, I think I looked at some of your drawings of different designs, and I was just like, how does Haley have this talent of drawing? I was very impressed. I can't draw at all. But
I mean, my
remember you had like a sketch. I don't know. I remember you showing me something, and I was like, wow, Haley drew all of these designs.
I think they were my like pencil and watercolor drawings from like a costume design class I had to do.
It was very cool.
Thanks, Tracy.
Okay, so you're excited to come to LA. That's really cool that you were like then excited to try all these different classes. So where did you first start trying classes when you got here?
Your neighborhood studio.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was like your main place. And what were your favorite classes there?
I loved Broadway with Tor.
Okay. Susan from C-Spot loved that class too. And where is Tor now? Why do we not have him anymore?
He's in Chicago.
Ugh.
Becoming a director.
Ugh.
I know.
Does he teach dance class there?
I don't know.
Because like I'm from Chicago, so if I ever go.
I don't know. He should. Like, everyone loved his class. He had the best energy, just was so welcoming and created this really fun environment for everyone. And introduced me to a lot of Broadway musicals I never heard of before.
That's so cool. Okay,
And
what else did you like?
I did ballet with Angelina Meany,
who still teaches at C-Spot.
And then I think I just tried random, like, hip-hops or jazz, eventually tap.
Did you start feeling like you liked any of those more than ballet ever?
I don't know. I think the only thing that's close to ballet is Broadway jazz.
Okay. As far as how much you liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point, these are like the parts of your story that I know. At some point you got involved with LA Unbound.
Yes.
Well, how did that start? Because I don't remember like how you got involved in that.
So I was looking for tap classes in LA because there's not that many.
Yeah.
And I found LA Unbound in like a Google Maps search.
Okay.
Even though it's not a dance studio.
I know,
it's a
like
dance
LA
company.
Unbound is like an organization.
Yeah. So it's a dance company, but I found it and it looked fun and interesting. So I went to watch one of their shows. It looked like something like maybe I had a chance of being able to perform with them. So I went to the next auditions, and it was really cool because the director of the company said, okay, everyone, like, we're going to try to cast everyone in this room. So, like, don't be nervous. Like, the choreographers just want to see what kind of styles you like to do. Just, like, be open-minded and have fun.
And say, for the people watching, in case they don't know what LA Unbound is at all.
Yeah.
What
so it's a dance company for adults. It's non-competitive. It's not professional. It's just for people who like to dance, who want an opportunity to perform and invite their friends and family to watch them. They do 2 shows a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. And it's just made up of all of these different choreographers. Like, you can be a choreographer or a dancer. And it's all different dance styles, from ballet to hip-hop to heels, anything you want to do.
Yeah. And then choreographers can, like, submit pieces and try to be in it. Maybe they have to get approved or something. But
yeah. But again, like, you know, they're pretty open-minded.
Okay.
And they love when people are interested in choreographing, because if no one wants to choreograph, then we don't have a show.
Yeah. So you went to a show, and then you were in the next show. And did I see you in your first show?
I think you did. I think you were like the one friend that came.
And I brought my friend. Or I remember I went with somebody.
Okay, you went to my little tap show with Jess.
Yes. Oh, yeah, okay.
But I think you also came to my first LA Unbound
Which
show.
was at that studio. The studio they had it at.
Studio A.
Studio
in
A.
Silver Lake.
Yes. And I went with somebody from our small group from church. We also went to church together for a while. We used to go. Oh
my gosh, the keyboard.
I just thought of that. So when we were living together, actually 3 of the 4 roommates started going to the same church somehow. And our small group that would meet weekly was like on our street or something. It was like a little walk. There was like 10 blocks or something. I don't know.
I would say like 10, 15 minutes.
Of walk. Yeah. So we would walk there, which was actually really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I kind of miss those. That was Kristen's apartment. That was so nice. It was so relaxing there. I miss that. But anyway, we used to have somebody who led worship. I don't remember what happened. But like sometimes at small groups, they have someone like play guitar and you sing like church songs a little bit, and then you have like a discussion. And for some reason, I guess the person that normally did that like wasn't there anymore or something. And I don't remember what happened. All I know is, like, they wanted to keep having a little worship time, but, like, they didn't have anyone to lead it. And I don't know how this happened, but, like, I have a keyboard that, like, I've had since I was young, because, like, I don't know why I wanted a keyboard so bad when I was little, because I literally don't even play the piano. But, like, I saved up for this, like, nice keyboard when I was, like, in grade school. And I still have it today. And I always had it in our apartment. And Haley one day decided she was going to, like, learn how to play it. And then I got kind of jealous because I was like, that's my keyboard, and how come Haley's learning? Haley doesn't know how to play piano, and she's teaching herself off of YouTube. I should be teaching myself off of YouTube. That's how we iron sharpens iron. We push
Yeah.
each other. So she was learning music, and then I started looking up stuff on YouTube and learning. And I guess we decided we were good enough we decided we were good enough to learn worship songs on the keyboard and sing them also.
Yes, out loud in front of people. And so instead of being normal and like getting in the car with the keyboard and driving to the small group, we would walk for 10 or 15 minutes or 10 blocks, however far it was, holding the keyboard, walking down the street. Like you would hold one end and I would hold the other.
And like I would do my voice lessons almost every day in my car. I have singing lessons that I can do in the car, and I do them once in a while now. But I would do them like every day because I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to sing in front of people. And honestly, it was so fun. But I remember there were certain days when like you couldn't come or something. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this by myself. But like you would play some songs, right? And we would both sing, and I would play some songs. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I really liked doing that.
That was fun.
That was really fun. And then somehow we probably got fired at some point. Or actually I think it just dissolved from that apartment. From that group. The group kind of changed, and then I think it dissolved.
And I think we decided to not bring our skills to the new group.
We were like, let's just not tell anyone that we do that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think what I thought was good about it was like worship is supposed to be a time where you focus on God. And because Haley and I were decent, but we weren't like amazing, it helped people not to think about our amazingness and to think about God.
That's true.
And I don't think we were bad enough to like distract them. Because if you're really bad, then that might not help you think about God. Because people are like, well, why are these people doing this? But that was just a really good memory. Anyways, I don't know why I was talking about that. What were we talking about? Oh, Unbound. I don't know. Oh, because I went to your first show with like one of our friends from the group, I think.
Oh, yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
But I went to your first show I saw the tap recital. I don't really remember that. I remember going, but I don't remember like what it was like. But I remember going to your first show. It was at like a little studio in Silver Lake. We just had like little bleachers that we were kind of sitting on. But I watched that show and I was mesmerized. I thought, first of all, Haley was amazing. I still sort of, if you were to remind me the song you guys did the hip hop dance to, I would remember it, but I can't think of it right now.
Somebody to lean on.
Oh, how does it go?
I'm not. Nope.
Wait, I can like almost hear it. It's like the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh. Okay, but Haley did it there's something with a gun in it, right?
In the storyline?
Yeah.
No, the story was that my character overdosed on drugs, and then my sister cried over my dead body.
Did you have like the main part or something?
I guess.
I feel like you were like the star of it, and you did so good. And I was just like, wow. I just thought it was amazing. And I remember Haley telling me later that hip hop like wasn't her favorite thing, and I was like, it like should be. You did so good. And also all of the dances were really good. And I just remember just like loving it. But it wasn't like, for some reason that didn't make me think like I want to dance. I just like really liked watching it. And so I think I went to almost every single show.
You really did. It was really nice of you. Like I always felt so supported and like encouraged. It was really nice of you. Because I know you genuinely wanted to go. I
really wanted to go. And it was like twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe towards the end there was like one that I may have missed, but I don't even know if I missed any. I think I went to almost every single one.
I think only the very last show I did a dance that was a little sexy, so I didn't invite anyone. People had to ask to be invited.
Oh,
so just two girls went to it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that wasn't even my fault because you didn't even tell me about it.
I didn't tell you about it.
Okay. So
because I mean, I think we feel the same way about dancing sexy. It's not my favorite style, but I loved the choreographer and I would just do anything she wanted. So I signed up to be in her piece anyways.
That's so funny. Yeah, because what's cool about LA Unbound, because I've been to one of the auditions, I didn't end up, because eventually I got into dance and eventually I did one time audition for LA Unbound and I did get in a piece, but I had only put a few that I was willing to be in because I didn't want to mess up my regular dance class schedule. And then it ended up not working out for me to be in that piece for a variety of reasons. So I didn't end up performing. But I I really like how they have the audition set up because you get to see a little piece of every choreographer's like what they're going to do. So each of the choreographers show you what they're going to do. And you have like these papers and you can basically put check marks next to all the ones you're like interested in being in. You also put how many pieces you're willing to be in. So you could check like 10 of them, but just say you only want to be in one though.
Yeah.
Or you could say maybe up to 3 if you're feeling ambitious. And yeah, I really like that because yeah, it's really nice to know. It's I feel like dancers don't always get like choices.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. And the audition was so fun. And then they tell you just to dance with every style. Even if, like, let's say I only want to be in a contemporary piece, they still encourage you to, like, dance the jazz part of the audition and whatever else, ballet or anything, because the choreographers are just watching everything, and then it still helps them to see how you move. So basically I did, like, the musical theater one, the jazz one, the contemporary one. I just, like, jumped into the ballet one, which I was like, I'm not trying to do, like, a ballet piece, but actually it wasn't, I did, like, okay. So, like, I felt really encouraged. I had so much fun, and I had told friends about it, too, so we were all there together. Haley didn't do it that year. We never did it. You did it so many years, and then you finally took, like, a different direction. Oh, one year, Haley was on the front of the
oh my gosh.
program. It was just her. I mean, these are like kind of big shows. Like there's a lot of people in them, and also there's a lot of people that go. They would often, I mean, sometimes they did it in a studio, but sometimes they rented out like, I forget which place that was.
Yeah, like El Portal in Hollywood.
Yeah, and it's like kind of big, and there would
be like 100 dancers in a show.
Yeah, and so with everybody's, like, friends or whoever comes, like, there's a lot of people. And one year, it was just Haley's photo on the front of the program.
No idea how that happened.
Just Haley. When did you first know that was the case? Did they ask you?
No, so each show, they'll, like, ask some dancers to be in, like, a little photo shoot. And so there were groups of us taking all these photos, but somehow they only put the picture of me doing like a little toe stand and tap shoes. So I didn't know till I went to one of our run-throughs and they had everything printed out and we're supposed to like pass them out to people. And I'm like, well, I don't want to pass out pictures of myself to like my coworkers and stuff. But
I loved it. Well, we
cute.
loved it. I think all of Haley's friends were so excited that we knew the star of the show.
Stop.
I was like, look at this is my friend. I remember like telling people near me that I didn't even know. I was like, this is my friend.
Stop.
I was like really excited. So always loved coming to those shows. There was how many years? So she was in a bunch of them. And then did you choreograph one time or more than once? I can't remember.
I choreographed once for a show that actually was performed. And then I choreographed for our spring 2020 show.
Oh.
That didn't happen, which
That's sad.
is okay.
So I know the one that performed was Chicago.
Yes,
Chicago.
It was all that jazz.
So cute. I absolutely loved
Thanks,
your
Tracy.
choreography, and I think that skill is currently going to waste because that was amazing. So if you ever want to pick that up again. And then what was the song you were supposed to do?
Oh, I had just seen Little Shop of Horrors at Pasadena Playhouse in fall 2019. So I cut my own little medley of songs from the musical.
Oh, cool. I still have not been to Pasadena Playhouse, and I live in Pasadena, but that's fun. I like those songs from that musical. That sounds awesome. So then you did that. Do you know how many years or how many shows you actually did?
I think I did 7 shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
I felt like it was even more, but 7 shows. Okay, so that was probably like 3 or 4 years or something.
I think so.
And then while you were doing that, were you still taking different kinds of classes like hip hop, jazz, tap, ballet?
Yeah, that's why it got a little crazy, was because I still would take Broadway with Tour or ballet or hip hop or all these other classes plus the rehearsals. And again, like you could just be in one piece that rehearses once a week, once every other week. I would do like 4 or 5 pieces because I couldn't say no. So I'd have that many rehearsals per week plus my regular dance classes.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll admit at that point in my life, I was crazy.
And a full-time job, so. And then when you decided to like not audition for LA Unbound, even though I feel like you still were like supportive and like volunteered and like did different things.
Yeah, so I don't dance with them anymore because I realized during COVID that doing all of the things was really stressful. So now I just take class, so there's no commitment. I can just kind of drop in whenever. But I still go to all of the shows because I love the company. I love seeing my friends perform. And the shows are really inspiring, so.
Yeah. Um, and then what did you start when you stopped doing LA Unbound? Did you just keep taking the same classes that you were taking?
So I couldn't because once the studios reopened after COVID, almost all of my teachers had left California or the studios had permanently shut down.
Yeah.
So I started doing ballet at Westside and I was falling in love with ballet again. So that
Okay.
was really fun. But then I went to see LA Unbound's first show post pandemic and I was seeing people do all of these different dance styles that I used to do. So I kind of missed that. So I just was looking for studios where I could do something other than ballet. And so that's how I found Soho, where it's a Latin and ballroom studio, which LA Unbound doesn't do those types of dances, but it was a studio that had stuff. So that's how I got into salsa, actually.
Oh. But wasn't your neighborhood studio still around at first after the pandemic, but it just didn't have your same teachers anymore?
Right. But
Okay.
then I think by the time I started going, it shut down a couple months later.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, because I guess we did take a little bit of class together there.
Yeah.
But that's so interesting that you just ended up doing salsa, because there are other studios that have other things. But I guess you're on the west side and you never want to drive.
I
to
decided
North
I'm not
Hollywood.
going to drive and I decided I'm not going to do hip hop anymore.
Aw.
It's not a cute look for me. I don't know why I thought it was.
I think it was
So-
actually, but I respect it. I respect the decision. I do think you looked cute doing hip hop. I do think you were good at it. It was funny because like when was it? It was before the pandemic, but I used to take when I started taking a lot of classes, and then especially Saturdays were my crazy days where I would take like 3 classes at Edge because I would take jazz one in the morning with this woman Chelsea, not Chelsea Mishner, but this other Chelsea, I can't remember her last name. And then I would take beginner tap with Johnny Hobbs because I did start getting into tap at that time. And then I would take Dean Alex Space beginning hip hop. And every once in a while, Haley would just, because we were still in contact, we weren't roommates anymore, but Haley would be like, I want to take all your Saturday classes with you. And I don't remember what classes you were doing during that time. Maybe you were mostly still at YNS.
Yeah.
But so it was so fun. I think we only did it a couple times.
Yeah.
But like,
because I was exhausted after doing 3 classes in one day.
I remember you would bring your water bottle with a smoothie in it.
Yeah.
And she'd do all the classes with me. And it was so fun to get drenched in sweat dancing with Haley all day. And then we would always go out to eat somewhere
Yes.
afterwards and just like feel like, we took all this dance and talk about it. And yeah, you took Dean's hip hop class with me, and I asked you which class you liked the best, and you said hip hop of those ones.
Well, that was back when I thought I could do hip hop.
You
so.
could. And also Dean's hip hop I feel like is like a little jazz funkish.
Okay.
Maybe. So not like so hardcore hip hop, but I love that class. Anyway, that was a really fun time. So then you got into salsa, and did you the first class you took salsa, were you like, I love it now? Or like, what happened? Because also you're dancing with people. This is like a totally different thing that you hadn't done before, right?
Yeah. So I was not used to having to dance with a partner. And I also didn't understand that like y'all are doing 2 different roles. There's like a leader and a follower. So I just copied and did what all the other girls did in the class. So they did the follower role, which is like traditionally what the girls do.
Yeah.
So you're following this guy's lead, which I'm like, can I be the leader? But anyways, that's not what I signed up to do, I guess. But also, like, are they even leading me correctly? I don't really know. Am I following correctly? I don't really know. But I think what I liked about it was that it just was really different and took me out of my comfort zone. And at some point, I realized I was pretty bad at salsa, but I couldn't figure out why. So then once I found this YouTube video explaining to me why I was such a bad follower, it really inspired me to get better.
What was the reason you were such a bad follower?
I didn't know my footwork, and I didn't want to hold people's hands. Well, because you have to have like tension.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you like hold their hands really lightly, they have to like drag you.
Yeah. That's what I learned in my recent salsa lesson.
Yes.
That's really funny. You're
Because
like,
I was like feeling shy. So I was like, just put the little tips of my fingers in their hands, and that's wrong.
okay, so you learned from YouTube, and then did you just start like
Then I just got
magically
into
growing?
it. I thought I was growing. So I did classes for a year, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to start going social dancing now.
Yeah.
Because in class, it's kind of like classes where, like a jazz or whatever, where like you learn a dance and you practice it over and over again. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm following these guys by doing this dance that I memorized. No, I was just leading myself to do it because I had memorized it.
Okay, yeah.
So when I went out dancing and would dance with random people and I didn't know what moves they were going to lead me to do, I couldn't follow them because I realized I wasn't actually practicing following for that full year I was taking class. So then I had to start over and learn how to follow.
Okay.
But it's been fun because, again, when I started social dancing, I was really bad. Like after dancing to one song, I would be drenched in sweat from trying to think so hard and figure it out without realizing I just needed to learn how to feel it. But each time I went, I would get a little bit less horrible. So that would motivate me to keep going. That's kind of like tap. Like I just love like the challenge of learning something new.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah. And now Haley is a very good salsa dancer.
Okay, well, you don't actually know.
Actually, I do because she sends me videos.
Okay, but that's from class where I memorized what I'm supposed to do.
Also, it's cool because I've been good friends with Haley for a while now, and I was with her through the journey of like really wanting to go social dancing, but being kind of scared to like ask people or didn't know, like you didn't have like a ton of close friends yet in class.
I had no friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can just be honest.
And so I remember you just talking about it for a while of just like wanting that. And I think, I don't know, cut to like a year later, or I don't know how long it was, but all of a sudden it's like, you're going out social dancing with people like all the time. And like, you're leaving me voice notes at like 2 a.m.
Yes.
Like, I just got back from dancing. It was so fun. And now I know because I went salsa dancing recently with my other podcast guest, and now I know that they really party. They really dance till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I can see why. Like it was fun, and I definitely stayed later than I imagined. And I probably could have kept going, like if we didn't have a podcast interview to do. So I can see why you do it. It is fun, and it is very fun to follow. Do you like following now? Do you think that's fun now?
Yes, because now I will say the guys at my studio, they're great. They're super nice, very friendly. Like it's a great place to like learn and practice and everything. But when I go out dancing, sometimes I get to dance with people who are really good. So that's why I really like it.
Yeah, it is really fun.
The people at my studio are also really good. That didn't sound right, but there just are some people who have been dancing salsa for like 15 years versus like 3 months.
Yeah.
You know?
And I had similar experience. Like I did a little bit of salsa dancing in college, and it started because these guys who were really good danced with us. Me and my friend who never learned it before. And they taught us one little step, and then they just danced all over the place with us, and it was like the most fun thing ever. Yeah. So we're like, we love salsa dancing. So we started to go, and then we started to take these lessons, and it was with people that, didn't have the same experience. And then we didn't love it as much. I think if I like truly loved salsa, I would have just kept going, and, we're all learning, so it would have been cool. But I think we just really liked having experienced people throw us around and like, it's just fun.
So give us lots of turns.
Yeah. Haley loves turns. She loves turns in ballet, and she also loves turns in salsa. And what I learned is that salsa has lots of turns and bachata does not have lots of turns, right?
Right. I mean, you do turn in bachata, but they're slower.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't think, you don't turn as much.
Okay. So, and I know we're going to wrap up soon, but you were saying that you like to try new things and have new challenges. So, what are the other things you have liked besides dance that were challenges? I'm just thinking of one thing, but I feel like you have multiple things.
Like in life?
Yeah, what are some other activities and things you like besides dance? Because I feel like Haley's like one of my friends that's like really good at dance and really committed, but then you also have like 1,000 other interests. Like I don't even know. I can't even imagine having another strong interest as far as like a hobby or like an activity because I don't know when I would do it. But Haley's like I feel like she's so multifaceted even with like how much you have done dance.
Okay, so I'm not saying that I'm good at any of these things. I just kind of like them, but like I guess like snowboarding or like backpacking, running,
and scuba diving. That was the one I was thinking of.
Oh.
I know, wait, do you do that anymore at all?
Not really.
But she used to be pretty into scuba diving. Like all her scuba diving stories, I was like, who are you? You are so good. I don't know how. I don't know how you just are like, now I do scuba diving.
I just got certified by myself, and then I would scuba dive with a group of random old men.
I thought you had a friend that was
I
your
eventually
age.
had a friend.
Okay.
Actually, that I met through LA Unbound.
Oh.
But before I met her, I would dive with random old men. But the plus is that once I didn't have the energy to swim back to shore because the currents were too strong. So they took my gear and towed it in.
Wow.
And then they also like pulled me and like helped me swim.
That's nice. Yeah, so scuba diving, snowboard. I actually didn't even know that you were into snowboarding. Backpacking. She likes camping.
Mm-hmm.
She's single. I'm just kidding.
Stop!
I can edit that. I just felt like we were doing like a dating profile because I didn't mean to.
Sorry.
But I was like, she likes hiking, she likes backpacking, she likes camping, and then I felt like we were doing like a dating video. Anyways, yeah. Do you have a goal for dance, or is it just like, I just love it and I just do it, or do you have some like thing you want to like really achieve with it?
As a whole, no. But I think I want to continue to pursue ballet and not be too hard on myself about it, and to continue to get better at salsa, and yeah, just to be open to. Actually, I don't want to be open to different classes. I don't really like lyrical. I don't really like hip hop. I don't want to do them. I just want to do ballet, salsa, and Broadway jazz. That's it.
I think that's allowed.
I don't want to be open-minded.
I know sometimes people want me to try different things because they're like, oh, Tracy, she takes tons of different classes. And so they'll be like, will you try this with me? Will you try that with me? And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I wish that I had it more narrowed down than it is. I already feel like I like too many styles. Like, I really like contemporary jazz, lyrical, kind of hip hop, jazz funk, ballet. I would like to take tap if I could fit it in, gymnastics. That is too many things. I wish that I only liked like 3 of these things because then I could really hone in on it. But people are like, what's your favorite thing? And I'm like, I don't know. I just love them all a lot in different ways. And so,
So you do all of them all the time?
So I'm not going to just like add in salsa or add in these other things. Like I might do it once for like the podcast, but I'm not like, I can't like start doing salsa once a week. Like I don't have that many days in a week. So I fully support. I think 3 types is like a lot anyways. So, yeah. And do you have any, wrapping it up, last question, do you have any advice for anyone that's a dancer? Random advice?
I think just enjoy the process and get to know people in class. They make it more fun.
Yeah.
Certain types of dance are easier to jump into than others. Like salsa, a lot of people that do, I would say most people that do it don't have any type of dance background. It's not like ballet. You don't have to lift your leg up. You don't have to turn out your legs. So I think there are some dances that are easier to get into.
Yeah.
So just do whatever's fun for you and enjoy it.
Just start. If you haven't tried it, start with whatever sounds good to you and see where it goes. It's taken Haley far multiple times. So tap, salsa, all these things. And check out LA Unbound if you haven't yet, because it's a really great way to get into dance and perform more. And it's a great community. So Thank you, Haley,
Thanks,
for being on my
Tracy.
podcast late at night after ballet
Thanks for having me.
on a workday night. Weekday, workday. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And thanks for watching. And like and subscribe and comment. And
Smash that
follow.
like button.
Smash that like button.
Bye.
Bye.